All right, let's hope so. Make sure my screen is turned up. So we are live, I believe.
We are indeed.
So welcome everybody to our latest edition of TNT. Boom
Boom.
with the great Michael Amel the first. I am Pastor Joe. This is Mr. Prince, D. Lawrence
Mr.
Williams hanging out,
Mr.
and here we are for our latest edition of TNT. It's a beautiful day, so I decided to come on outside and just enjoy some of God's weather in
Man,
the shade.
it
And
is a
I'll
beautiful
stay
day.
out here as long as we have light.
As long as possible, Reverend.
Yes, sir. I do have some lights I
Do
can
it.
turn on, but
I need you to stand
so
out
far
there.
so
Like,
good.
I need you to be out there. What is happening in your world, man?
Man, so much, man. So much. Uh, Church is
Indeed.
doing fantastic. It's growing. Uh, God is really blowing our minds. And of course, you have like 4 consecutive weeks of increase and growth, and then you have a little bit of a problem with the building
Mm.
that we are in the process of bringing to a resolve. But we were blessed to have service at Norfolk State University last Sunday.
How was that?
It was wonderful, man. Uh, they really looked out for us. We got to go in one of the theaters over there in the general ed, the nurses building, and
Hmm.
you old school like me. The school that I went to, it just don't look the same.
I
But
can't even find my way around that
brother,
joint, bro.
they have literally beautified that campus. It looks like every building except for maybe Twin Towers and a couple of our new.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. I'm so proud of the green and gold, and uh,
My
you just
daughter,
never know uh, what you need sometimes until you need it.
true indeed.
Yeah.
My daughter Micah was the last baby born in Norfolk Community Hospital,
Wow. Wow.
which now is where the calf is.
Right. Exactly.
And the calf used to didn't be there. I'd just be trying to tell these kids, like, bro,
Yeah.
this is a whole nother situation.
Yeah.
And student union, like,
Yeah. Yep.
even the football field,
I think
everything
he
is
pooped.
different. I can't navigate it. I was just trying to
Yeah.
figure it
It's
out,
it's
bro.
it's gorgeous. But yeah.
Browns Hall,
Yep.
completely different.
Yep.
Completely different. Man, what do you think of Jake stepping down? Oh, do I say his name? They be having this picture of him. They just say mega church pastor
Right. Yeah.
stepping down. But
Yeah, man. Monumental, man. Uh, I don't even feel like it's being talked about enough. Uh,
yeah, what are we saying? What are you hearing, or what is your resolve? Not to add speculation or to propagate any false narrative. What is your resolve on the matter from what you've heard? What have you concluded as to the whys or the truth about the matter? Because there are always many, kind of.
I would say my resolve in a nutshell is um, it's time.
Mm,
And the unfortunate reality about it being time is he is uh, and has been uh, sullied, if you will, mired
yes,
with the controversy that is surrounding his relationship with Sean P. Diddy Combs, whose trial started, I think, yesterday. And uh, I'm the guy, you know this about me, man. I am a bulldog in defending men of the cloth in certain respects, right?
right. Pitbull.
And I am that way because I understand the weight that sits right here. Of
Physical, mental, spiritual weight, all like all the categories. I get it.
right. Literally, I was watching something the other day, and they were talking about, if you speak publicly for an hour, that's like working an 8 hour shift doing physical labor for eight
Woo!
hours, right?
I've told people that. I've told people,
Right.
yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
um, I have no idea, right? I understand fame a little bit. You famous. Um, I'm semi-famous, but none of us are Jake's famous, right? In
Right,
the church world, but has crossed over into main. The dude was on the cover of Time or Newsweek or something, right? I,
right,
I don't think the average person could understand the weight that is.
correct.
And so, you know, I don't know if he, needed to do certain things to blow off some steam and keep his mind right. I don't know. I'm not trying to put him in any light like that. But whenever you kind of are dealing with somebody who is a mega, and then there's these controversies and rumors and things, you don't really want to go out in a shame. You want to go out, you know,
Right,
in health and
right.
strong, with the ministries intact, where you can still, put your fingerprints on it, call the shots.
Yeah, like
And
Fred Price.
yep, yep, you want to pass the torch.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And so, um, for me, and I think you and I are very similar in, we're not like the biggest Jake's fans,
Right.
but there is a holy reverence and appreciation for his greatness to the body
Hmm.
and what that
Yes.
means. He
Yeah.
he has just been. I mean, he's just been absolutely amazing for
Yeah.
30+ years at the highest level.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
That's noteworthy
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah.
He had about a month ago, he had a health scare.
Right.
And so I was resolved to leave it there,
Yep. Yep.
and you said something really powerful. And of course, we use on the same page, me and you anyway. And so, like, there's an unfortunate um, taste in my mouth to admire his, don't drag him,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
Um, the same text that holds us accountable as we try in our weak, feeble attempts to judge others
Hmm.
says to touch not mine anointed
Yep.
and to do my prophets no harm.
Right.
Now, the paradigm in that is that when you're charged not to do that, then there's still a tendency to regurgitate from the same book to say, but you should not do this as judgment. Like, we know we shouldn't do this, but you cannot judge with the same measure you judge, you shall be judged.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I want to be clear that we can offer our opinions, and those opinions are from we can be even be in the house, but we're often offering our opinions from not having a seat at the table.
Yeah.
Like, we're not seated at the table, but we're talking about the food that's being served. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
And we're in the parking lot or we're in the guest room. We're not at the table
Right.
partaking. And that is a dangerous place to be in, is what I want to say. Like, I just want to admonish against that and encourage people not to be in that space. You can have your opinion, um, but consider when articulating even your opinion the possible collateral damage or that it can have. That's
Yep.
all. What do you think?
No, I agree with you, man. I mean, again, you know, morally, there are standards,
Indeed.
and I mean, I don't know what our topic is tonight, but we can kind of introduce some controversy. I would say
Yeah.
morally, there are standards, And
Yes.
um, the Bible seems to indicate to us, in some cases, that God's standard is holiness. He's a holy God. But that there are
Mm,
certain
mm,
things
mm.
that we consider grave sin that God doesn't necessarily seem to hold to the same standard.
Yes.
And I want to interject the story of King David.
Let's go.
We know that it was sin for him to conspire to have Uriah killed. No way around
Yes.
it. God judged him for it swiftly
Period.
and severely. They lost the
Yep.
baby. Boom.
Yep.
But God did not take him off the
Whew.
throne. God also secured his throne forever. Jesus
Man.
is the son of David.
Yeah, yeah.
But let's keep going. When Nathan comes to
Mm,
confront David prophetically,
mm.
now we have to be integral with the text. Nathan is a prophet who speaks for God
For God, and the word of the Lord God of Israel is this.
as this. And Nathan,
Boom.
there was no Facebook. Nathan got the information from the
Whew.
Almighty.
The download. Mm.
God tells David
You talking good, sir.
the sin was the conspiracy and you using your power to take from this man who has one when you have everything. And let's talk about everything.
Now, see, you
God
going
says,
into a place. You going into a place, sir.
I
Watch it.
said, we
Watch
got
it.
to do it. We got to do
We
it, right?
gotta do it.
God
If we
says
gonna
to him,
do it.
I
Ah!
gave you your wives
With the S, Reverend,
with
or
with
singular?
the S
Ah,
and your concubines. Hold on.
not wives and concubines,
That's what the
Reverend. You
book
know
says.
this is my text right
Hold
here.
on. Hold
God,
on. That's
dog.
not where he stopped. And would have given you
More.
or
Had you asked,
had you asked.
come to me. I will give you more because I know you. I know that you. So I'm going to meet your need. He's a God who meets your. But see, Reverend, this conversation is tricky and dangerous. It's a slippery slope. It's interesting because it's been coming up a couple of times. I'm engaged in this conversation. Like, how's this, man? When you don't really ha- when you not one is a handful. There are people that I know a couple of people that have two and three,
Yeah,
right? Sister wives, I
right.
call them. And I'm like, "Eeh, one is a lot,
Yep.
right?" But here is the God of all creation saying, I will, I gave you the ones you got. I
Right.
did it.
Right.
I would have given you more if you only just asked. In this Western society culture that we live in, that's not palatable for women, bro.
It's not. It's not. And again, I love what you said. God knows him.
You see how it said, right? See?
And again, we know that there are moral standards, right? That everybody has to adhere to. But some of these are man made and man created and are not necessarily directed by God. And you got to read the text with integrity. And if God says you would have asked me for more, God says I would have given it to you. The sin wasn't necessarily the sex that you were having with these people. The sin
Mm,
was the conspiracy to commit murder and to take from another man when you have the ability to ask me for whatever you want. So
hmm
that's the issue. And when you are a king that has killed Goliath, that has supplanted King Saul, that has uh, gathered 1,000 Philistine foreskins. That guy's operating on a
mm,
different. His brain does is not normal. His brain not like ours, right? I was telling, I was talking to my coworkers. Everybody knows I'm a teacher, and a male, black man. I'm surrounded by women. So sometimes they get into women conversations and they have them in front of me and they look at me and they laugh, whatever, right? So
Right.
we were having this one conversation and I blew them all away because I was telling them about this one time where I was at a Washington Wizards game. It was Michael Jordan's last year playing for the Bulls. Spent the money, had to see, the king, the goat.
I did the same thing. I was there at one of them games
Right.
too.
Okay. Right. So I'm there. Right. And when we're coming out, there's a door. Right. And I would say about 12 rows deep of women outside of this door. Like if it's 12 rows, like it's filled. Like let's say, maybe 150, 200, and it's all women,
Hmm.
right? And so we walking by, and the assumption is that Michael Jordan is about to come through this door, right? And we were informed, Bill Clinton is about to come through this door. And what I was explaining to them was, we know what happened between him and Hillary and that, but you have no idea what it is to walk around and you're that guy. See, Michael Jordan's in town, but there's 200 females waiting to see your old self. That's a lot of weight. And I'm not trying to justify. I'm not trying to
Right.
justify, but I'm trying to
Right.
get us into a brain that understands, man. God, God is smarter than us. And sometimes, man, you are carrying something that the average person couldn't carry. And
You're talking right,
and
bro.
God gives you grace to be able
Yeah.
to carry it. And so when you
Yeah.
talk about guys like a TD Jakes, not Jakes the King David, but a King David, sometimes, man, you know, we have no idea. We have no idea what's sitting
Mm.
on their shoulders. And, God's grace has to be sufficient to carry them through because they're human beings, man. Nobody is infallible. Everybody makes mistakes.
Do you think that there is uh, do you think that there is um a way to encourage people to have more compassion or grace extended to these people? Like, I usually offer to people that we should be mindful to extend to others more than the grace that we require.
Right,
And then that would keep us right on line, in a certain space.
right.
But how do we project that, or how do we encourage people to do that when this world is this not the entire world, but this culture that we're in literally has been labeled cancel culture.
Yeah.
Like, we ain't giving nobody grace. You just cancel. Like, there's no, you don't have no saving grace. Just cancel.
Cancel culture is toxic.
I
Uh,
agree.
it's toxic. I mean, we understand that there is a principle. If you are, uh, if you have a track record of being abusive or racist or
Yeah.
a pedophile,
Yeah.
and you're making money off a lot of people, it makes sense for us to say, okay, we don't want to support that. But then, if you make a mistake,
Yeah.
right, and you lived your life and 85% of it is good, but you make a mistake, it's terrible to say people can't have grace because you make mistakes every day, but you still get to go to your job.
Yeah.
And it's just like you said, the way that we do it is you got to get back into the book. Jesus talks
Yeah.
about
That's
with
it.
the same way that you judge, that's how you're going to be judged. You got to chill
Yep.
out. Let God handle it because He's gonna handle it.
It's something about this microwave society though that we want it right now. We want to see the justice that we think right now. There's
Right.
a case with the guy. Oh man, his name just slipped my mind. Rodney something. There's a black guy who in Ohio killed a cop
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that that the next day he killed a cop that killed his son.
His son. Right.
And there are some people asking for his head,
Right.
but the most of the people are saying, let him go, drop it down to manslaughter. The cop didn't get no reprimand,
Right.
no real reprimand. And that man lost his son.
Right.
What do you think about that in regards to canceling culture? But like, because they want to cancel some people, cancel the man.
Right. Right. I mean,
I don't think that's cool.
no,
If
because
anything, we cancel the cop. I mean, I know, can you say that? But I mean, I'm
well, the police have a job to serve, and they seem to forget that all the time. That's your responsibility, was protect us and serve. So killing people, unless you're saving the lives of other people, doesn't seem like it works on the lines of protection and service. Um,
mm,
we have a legal system, we have a justice system. And God tells us to let Him handle it. That vengeance is His. But let's just be
yeah,
honest. What if it was your son? What if it was
yeah,
your child?
that's the part I'm on right there. That's the part I'm on.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the reality of the Time to Kill movie uh, all over again. That
Hmm.
yeah, I mean it's easy to take the high road on that, but if that's your child,
Yeah, I don't think that people really realize that because everybody wants it to be done how they see it.
right,
You know what I'm saying? But let's do it how God said it.
right, right,
You know?
yep,
Uh, wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. I would put something on the guy's books personally
yep, yep,
as a father, saying, oh, okay. I mean, there was like 30 cops trying to intimidate him.
I saw it, man. They just sitting there looking at him like they're gonna get him, and chances are, if he goes to jail, they probably will find a way to get him.
Yeah, or the inmates will protect him because
Right,
there's some that have that same,
they, right,
kind of thing. I was so proud that he had his head up and he was strong in the
yep,
face of that intimidation. Um, we have a comment 144K says the most high put that spirit on that brother to get vengeance.
right,
I don't I won't dispute that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that that's the case, but I won't dispute it
right,
because he did it. You know what I mean? He executed it. You could say that there was a group of people, a people group that for a long period of time was saying that it was their right to own the other people group and to treat them this certain way and to not consider them as people.
right,
And God authorized them to do
right.
it. Look at our Caucasian counterparts in the eyeball, or
Yeah,
to speak out of turn of it. So yeah, I'm I think the allowance of that with God was the same allowance for this brother and for Nat Turner.
yeah, yep,
I'm just keep it buck.
yep.
That's how I feel about it. So yeah,
Agree.
I
We
hear
got a
what
we
you're
got a
saying.
we got a comment and a question before that. Black Death asks, "Does God see color?"
My.
And I would say, if we see it, He absolutely sees it.
Yep.
Uh,
Made in his image and likeness.
that
Yeah.
He made us in His image, and I think that the colors of the world, I think they're gorgeous, they're beautiful. Uh,
Yeah.
and I think that He does. I think that He does flight um, of marginalized people groups. Um,
Yes.
if we marginalize people based on color or based on gender, I think God does feel us, and He sees us. Um, and I would imagine it breaks His heart,
Yeah.
because if anybody knows, we all come from Him.
Yeah. And the colors, with regard to asking, do you see colors? I think it was a good question.
Yeah, it's
The
great.
seeing colors, I think the rainbow in its simplicity is indicative of seeing color.
Yep.
and I know that you were leaning towards with regard to people,
Right.
but I think if we start with nature itself, um, and it being created and all and everything, and then man being created to tend to it and appreciate it and to uphold it, then we have to look backwards to nature. Look,
Right.
you know
Yep.
what I mean, to see the now and the forward. So
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
you know what I mean. That's why I was saying about the colors of nature, rainbow, flowers, different things. Talk about that TD Jakes thing, and then Donald Trump is has a couple of things going on with tariffs and a few things, but he's trying to make another stimulus thing happen. He said that's a good answer. Thank you, 144K. Appreciate you. Um,
Amen.
trip
Sure, we can do it.
geography, laws, word meanings, objects, quotes, reasons, statistics and numbers, timeline, books of the Bible, geography in general, word meanings, figures of speech, Old and New Testament.
Let's do name that book.
I was looking at that too. Wow. All right then. What is the first book in the New Testament? What is the first book in the New Testament?
All right, that's a layup.
All right. Is it Romans, Hebrews, Mark, or Matthew?
All
The
right.
first book in the New Testament: Romans, Hebrews, Mark, or Matthew. You can write your answer.
Yes, sir.
144K is on it.
Understands that is Matthew, and
Uh huh.
I would absolutely agree. Where your shoes at?
And that's your final answer, I'm sure,
Yes,
preacher.
sir. I'm gonna go with Matthew.
Game will go to the next. Man, it's not getting uh, um, come on, submit this answer now. What is happening? I know we all know it's the right answer. Let's see now. I'm trying to refresh it, preacher. Let's see. Of course, it's not. You know how this thing gives us a headache sometimes.
Yep, technology.
You know it. Apologize to our newcomers. Let's see. I'm going to close it out and open it back up and see if we can get this.
I appreciate you, brother. Sir.
Got to roll out. Shalom to you, brothers. I just subscribed. All right. Salam, brother. Yeah,
Salam,
we'll
bro.
see you later. All
Sir.
right. And hope that you return. You'll find some very interesting previous episodes if you run that back. And I think you'll like it. I'm sure you would. All right. Which book of the Bible contains these words? Make haste, my beloved, and thou like to a roe or to a young hart upon the mountains of spices. Which book of the Bible contains these words?
Okay.
Make
Lord.
haste, my beloved, and be thou like to a roe or to a young hart upon the mountains of spices. Now, for bonus, would you like to answer prior to the list?
I think it's gonna be the Song of Solomon.
All right, so here's your choices: Genesis, Ruth, Matthew, and yes, Song of Solomon. So which that's gonna be your answer.
That's what I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, that's a good choice, I think, Reverend. Now this thing is still
Yes, sir.
and I'm going to be going back. They want me to come in June for the men's conference. I spoke at the women's
Yes, sir.
conference.
Excellent.
And as I was telling you, my couple of things that I may talk about, but I want to see how to put you in the mix with that stuff going on in Canada as well. I think you'll have a great time.
Well, you know, brother, I'm always down for it.
You know, I think you'll have a great time. So uh, we'll be prayerful about working towards that end with you, being a part of it. I'm excited for the possibilities.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
know, so yeah, I'm opening up. My laptop is done. So I got some people trying to look at it. The Apple Care thing is expired. The warranty is expired. So we're just trying to figure it out. And so that being said, um, I have some people trying, and Geek Squad couldn't even figure it out. So I have some people trying to help that, and that has been slowing me up a little bit. But
Right.
it's been very good in the sense that um, what seems like slowing up is really take your time,
Yeah. Yeah.
be still. And I was trying to share with people, I've been very present. I haven't been on the phone, I haven't been on a computer, no computer to be on.
Right.
And man, you have so much more time,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Um, and I'm grateful for that. I cannot express it enough. How grateful I am for that.
Yep. It's amazing.
I'm charging other people to do it, um, and to um, man, just enjoy the moment, like be present. Seems trite, but it's big.
Yep. Yeah.
It's huge. Put that phone down. You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
been in a couple of conversations. Be like, okay, the conversation is clearly over. No, for real. You know what I mean? Don't
Right.
make up anything else to say. Like, it's okay. Talk another time. Hold on, let me see. All right. I think I got it, Reverend.
Right.
We try one more time. Let's see. Try one more again. 'Cause you know, we don't give credit to the enemy, but we do acknowledge that an enemy exists. Hello,
Yes. Yes.
and that
Yes.
he has power. But what we more acknowledge and uphold is that our power is greater. Our
Yep.
God is greater.
Yep.
All right. What is the theme in the book of Amos?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It was supposed to be named that book. But what is the theme in the book of Amos? Grace, love, justice, or forgiveness?
Okay.
Book of Amos. Grace, love, justice, or forgiveness.
I'm going to say justice.
All right. Is that your final answer?
Yep.
That would be correct. Justice would be correct, sir. And that will be found in Amos 1. All right. In Amos 1, it tells you about the whole rest of the thing, beloved.
Right.
All right. Where is this verse found? Where? Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. The just shall live.
Okay. Okay. I think I have my answer. All right. I'm going to go with Habakkuk. Yes, sir. Is it Habakkuk 2? Right. Okay.
Beginning of wisdom. And the knowledge of the holy is understanding.
Okay.
Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And knowledge of the holy is understanding. Is that Colossians, Hebrews, John, or Proverbs?
Okay. I'm going to go.
Colossians, Hebrews, John, or Proverbs?
Yep. I'm going to go with the professionals of
All right.
Proverbs.
Yes, sir.
Pro-
Yes, sir. Final answer?
yes, sir.
All right. And that is correct.
Okay.
Proverbs 9, verse 10 is where you can locate that. It's interesting. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of holy is his understanding. So when people say, I just don't understand, tell them to get some holy,
There it is.
some knowledge of it.
The
Hello?
of the holy.
The book just told us. What are you trying to understand? S- Get some holy.
There it is. He'll do it.
Won't he do it?
Yes, he will. Won't he will?
Who wrote the book of Colossians? Was it Paul, Peter, Luke, or John? Who wrote the book of Colossians?
All right. My answer, and I'm going to go with the apostle. Apostle.
Who wrote? And so nobody's saying in the comments who wrote the book of Colossians.
I got the apostle Paul. Apostle Paul.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm saying I was getting the people a chance. And all right, your final answer, right? That would be
There it is.
he had he had just a little day. He didn't want to use paper and ink. The author was in prison, or the author was unable to finish.
I have no idea about it. I'm trying to go through it in my brain. Uh,
You know, it's not the author didn't want to use paper and ink.
right. So I'm gonna go and
And
say,
you know maybe that it's not he had little to say because this particular author had stuff to
right,
say.
right. So I'm gonna say didn't have time to finish.
All right. Which could be synonymous with he was in prison. But that's another whole thing. Some people stay in prison like us in Facebook jail,
That's right. And it puts you in there.
because
Look,
he's unable to finish. All right, final answer. Unable to finish.
yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
That is incorrect.
Okay. I didn't know this one.
Now guess what the answer is, preacher?
What?
Let's turn to it. Second John 1 and 12. Second John, I'm gonna read it to you in your hearing
Right. I'm thinking it's gotta be in there, and I don't know.
for you to catch it. Second John, waiting for my Bible app. I've been using Mantis to study, but
Okay.
I also got the Sefer Bible,
Oh yeah, yeah.
the Hebrew Jenks. Just look at that too, of course. Second John 1, and it's only one chapter.
Right.
Elect sister greet thee. So the author didn't want to use paper and ink because they wanted to do it in person.
Got you.
My. That's a good trivia question.
Sure is. Sure is. Yep. That's a good one.
It is. Wow. The author, excuse me, didn't want to use paper and ink. My. Yeah, that was good. All right, come on now. What is happening? So I'm on this computer, and what is the last book of the New Testament? The last book of the New Testament.
Y'all right.
Matthew, Romans, Hebrews, or Revelation.
Yes, sir.
And mind you, that Revelation does not, I repeat, does not have an S on
No S.
it.
No S. Is the revelation of Jesus,
Yes. Yep.
which is where we're gonna land.
All right. I know that's your final answer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's Bible study questions right there. Waiting for it. Wow. The last book. What is the last book of the, this is my question. What is the last book of the Old Testament?
Malachi.
Excuse me. Yeah. What is the knee baby book of the Old Testament?
I got to go back through that.
Yeah, the knee baby book of the Old Testament is what?
Zechariah.
The knee baby book. That's an interesting.
Yeah. I am Malachi. All right. I know him forward. I don't know him back.
The knee baby. Yeah, right. Come on, man. What's this thing doing? Well, that might be it for us. But this week, where would service be for Mason?
Yes. Right now we are planning to be back at Norfolk State. Of course,
Yes.
anything could happen with the repairs that are going on. I understand it's only a 2 day process, but the issue is parts coming and all that
Right.
stuff.
Right. Right.
Uh,
Right.
we could be back in the building this week. It's probably not going to happen, but we talked with them. If they'll let us come back, we'll probably be back there.
Right.
Get the word out beforehand.
Well, we'll be prayerful for you
Man, I
to
appreciate
get
that,
you
brother.
back
Oh,
in the building.
yes, sir.
Yeah. The last question: which book contains this verse? Choose you this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Is it Joshua? Is it First Chronicles? Is it Genesis? Or is it Jeremiah?
All right. Great question. And I believe that I am pretty certain that it is in the book of Joshua.
I believe you're right, preacher. That it is in the book of Joshua. That's for sure. I'm going to be interested in this person 144,000
Yeah.
returning with the purple banner and the 144,000 because it's going to be a great conversation. Uh, and I know they're gone now, but if they come back to the video, that reach out to us, Instagram, Facebook, send a
Yep.
message, call us. Love to have you tapped in and be a part of the inside of the
Yes, sir.
conversation.
Yep. Beloved.
Don't you, Dave? Yep, we're always welcome. Insightful, objective reasoning together. So, yeah, and different perspectives.
Amen.
Love it.
Love it. Yep.
Love it. Yeah, definitely love it. All right, Joshua is the right answer, beloved. And we're going to love you and leave you. We thank you for being here with us. Um, we're going to pray for Mason Memorial that they'll be able to be back in their tabernacle and that all will be well moving forward. We want to give a shout out to um, Elder Larry Cuffey and his family. He rest in peace. He passed. Transition. Sorry, your dad and mom. I was they had your dad come sit on the pulpit, but after he spoke, then he went and sat down.
Right.
But I was sitting at the keyboard. I didn't think he saw me. I was behind Devon Mickey, but I was, situated. But I saw them, and but there was a funeral for Elder Cuffey, a homegoing service on yesterday, and so we thank God for that life. Everybody knew him as the praying man,
Oh yeah.
and he was a praying
Yes, sir.
man.
He
I'm
would.
chuckling because if you knew Elder Cuffey, the truth of that statement and that label, that moniker was most appropriate.
Yep.
Most appropriate.
Yep. He was. He was
Yeah.
he was a member of our church when we were at Refuge for a long time.
Right. He lived
Uh,
down the street actually too.
yep.
Mhm.
Um, you have guys, man, that uh, are kind of part of the fabric of your life, and
Yeah.
uh, you know, when you're in church all of your life, um, it's interesting to see people come in, get saved, have lives transformed. My dad talks, not all the time, but about the fact that he was a child when Bishop Green and Bishop Daniels, like he remembers giving them the right hand of fellowship. That these guys became his youth leaders and Sunday school teachers, but he can recall a moment when they were not in church and he was. And my relationship with Larry was similar to that in that he comes in, but then God begins to transform him, and then he then began to, minister to us in a number of ways. Uh, always, we had some great times. You know, Mike. The guys, life is just different now. What do with us is, Larry he loved the Cowboys. He loved
Yep.
and he loved to play ball. And
Yep.
of course, growing up, I was, a pretty good athlete. So the older guys in the church, would come pick us up on a Saturday, take us to the court. We about there all day long,
Let's go. Yeah.
and that was just what it was. And it wasn't even like um, scripted, but it was fellowship. It was Christian education. It was empowerment. It was mentorship, and guys passing it down. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
good.
You know,
That's
arguing
good.
kind of stuff. And so one of those men who I hold in high esteem because it's just like, man, it was nothing, man. To just be like, man, what y'all doing today? It's a nice day. Let's go. You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
go. And your
Let's
parents be like, okay, you about to
yeah,
go. You
yep,
ain't staying. You really didn't have an option, even if you got asked.
right,
You did. Yeah.
yep, yep. It's just so different today, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, a great man of God.
I totally 1000% agree. The people came out, black, white, old, young, and it was really a testament to his life and how the people that he touched, the lives that he touched. So
Yep,
yeah,
yep,
good homegoing. It wasn't sad. It was very celebratory, which if you know him, and upbeat, like up,
right,
high, up
right.
energy. It was that.
Yep,
Um, yeah, I was playing first, a little bit. And then Mickey came. I was like, yeah,
okay,
I'm getting up off this joint. I was just trying to help my
right,
dad out.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's Divine Mickey. What are
right.
you gonna
No,
do?
you let him.
No. Oh, what? I was like, and you can sing if you want to. Let me get the mic right
Right,
for you. You know
do
what I mean?
all three.
So, bruh, bruh, he can preach y'all too. He can get up there too. So,
Yep,
yeah, I was very grateful for that. And I was just, trying to bridge the gap and help out a situation when they didn't have anyone to help my dad, since him and my dad were prayer partners and ministry co-laborers. So
yes, sir.
yeah. So,
Yep.
but yeah, shout out man, Larry Cuffy. And if you know, you know. And if you didn't
There
know,
we
we
go.
told you
There it
now.
is.
So I mean, good man
Yep.
right there, bro. Um, and yeah, stay grounded, stay hydrated, and stay
Yes.
focused. That's what I'm leaving you all with. Like, these are indeed interesting times, and they're going to get more and more so. So stay girded up. And if you don't have a church home, consider visiting Mason. Um, but
Yep.
you're not obligated to come to Mason by any means. We want you to go somewhere, you know what I mean, or just fellowship with some people. But Mason is available. That I know for sure. That's why I said it like that.
Amen. Clem the gym. Love.
Yeah, he said correct. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yep.
Mason is available, right? Yep.
Absolutely. Yep.
So yeah, we can get it right on out of here,
All right.
preacher.
We
Love
love
you, man.
life. We booming on.
Yeah, we're
Y'all.
booming on out, and we will talk to y'all next week.
Boom.
Boom. Thank you for being here. Love you.
Next week. Blessings.